Oh guys, what's going on? Shamrock Rovers Fan TV here. Now today we've got our preview for the League of Ireland Premier Division 2020. And yeah, let's get right into this. I'm going to be predicting the table, talking a bit about the cups, and we'll talk about the teams while we're going along. So yeah, enjoy the video. Now at 10th place, you kind of have to go with Finn Harps. I think last year they had a blanket, which was UCD, but it's kind of been wiped away from them with Shelburne coming in, a much stronger team. And yeah, I think they have brought in some good players. Connolly I remember him at Rovers, quite good. Webster from St. Patrick's Athletic, very good. And they lost Mikey Place, gone to Galway, which isn't the best for them. But yeah, I think 10th place for Finn Harps is probably fair. I think last season they kind of, as I said, had the blanket of UCD, and that's gone from them now, and they were lucky to stay up from the playoffs. They stayed up, and I can't see them staying up this season. I think they still have a good squad, and I think for the first division, if they go into it, it will be a much stronger division. Depends on who goes out, if it's a Galway or Drogheda, because they are a very good team, and I'd say they could well come back up to the Premier Division if they go down. So yeah, at number 10, Finn Harps. Now, at number 9, Sligo Rovers, and they don't have a bad squad. The same with Finn Harps. It's very close between them and another team, which I'll say the next. They have lost Romeo Parks, which is huge. I think Ronan Coughlin did quite well last year, and not a lot of people expected him to do that well. Seymour coming in, which will be good. But as I said, Romeo Parks, a huge loss to his pace up top. And I mean, they don't have a bad squad at all. I think it's very close between them and who I'll say next. I think only recently they just released, depends on when you're watching this, their new away kit, and their home kit has been released, and they're both nice, but I think they haven't brought in enough to kind of stay up. I still think they are going to stay up. I really do. I think they're going to stay up, but I just don't know 9th or 8th, and I think it's not going to be very far off from 8th. But yeah, so at number 9, Sligo Rovers. Now at number 8, Waterford, and I think, as I said, I was very close to putting them at 9th because they have lost a lot of good players. Corey Galvin, who didn't do incredible last year, but he scored some bangers. Walter Figueroa, very good goal scorer, gone to Derry. That's a huge loss for them. And also the big one, Zach Elbazetti to Lincoln. That's probably the biggest one. He was outstanding. I wish he went to us, to Rovers, because that would have been absolutely brilliant. We would have been stacked if we got him, or the same with Dundalk. Yeah, it's sad to see Zach Elbazetti leaving the league, but again, it's kind of good for Irish football. For him going to Lincoln will make our national team stronger with players going to England. They've brought in Tyg Ryan, who's a very good goalkeeper. Kind of surprised about that one. And yeah, Waterford at number 8, I think is fair enough. I was very close to putting them 9th, but I do think they will stay up. And I still think Sligo will stay up. I just think they're the ones going to be under more pressure with the playoffs. Now, at 7th place, we're going with Cork City. And on last season, this is a good finish. But 2-3 years ago, this would have been horrible. Have brought in some good players. Corey Galvin, very good player, as I said. Scored some bangers for Waterford. Liam Bossien, very good goalkeeper. Played for Anderlecht, if I'm not mistaken. They've brought in what's his name, Kyron Stabana, who will be good on loan. A big loss was Carl Shefford, who I think deserved a better finish than he did last season. I think he deserves a high finish because only 2 years ago he was winning. He was competing for titles, and he was competing to stay up really last season. So I wasn't surprised he went. So yeah, number 7, Cork City. Now, at number 6, newly promoted Shelburne, and I think they have a very good squad. Kieran Kilduff, brilliant striker, the knock legend. Cal Shepherd coming in, probably play out on the left or the right maybe, coming in from Cork City. Aaron Dobbs will be interesting, him coming in. And yeah, not a bad squad. I think if it's a much stronger league with Shells coming in. Because last year UCD had a very good squad, but they lost a lot of players, which was harder for them. I definitely think Shells are going to do quite well. A lot of people are saying 9th or 8th, but I believe that they will come 6th. I think they're not going to get European football for a few years, maybe 2 years' time. But I'd say they'll push on for that in 2 years, definitely. They'll push teams like St. Patrick's Athletic and Derry for European football. Now, at 5th place, St. Patrick's Athletic. And I think Stephen O'Donnell's doing a good job with them. A brand new squad, Robbie Benson coming in. They were linked to Dean Jarvis, who in the end went to Larne from Dundalk. They lost Connor Clifford, who was big. Mikey Drennan, it was released. Barry Murphy released. They brought in Connor Kearns, he's a very good goalkeeper. And I think he'll battle with Maher and Clark, but I do think he'll get the number 1 spot. And yeah, I think St. Pat's will get a comfortable 5th place. I don't think they'll be too far away from 4th, but I can't see them as close as last year. Maybe 5 points off. They were about 5 points off. I can't see them the same. Maybe a bit less than 5. It's going to be very close next year. But yeah, St. Patrick's Athletic at 5th place. Now, at 4th place, Derry City, who I think will be very close to pushing on 3rd. I kind of would have went them for 3rd if they didn't have European football, because that will distract them. They've brought in some good players and lost some very good players. Brought in Tim Nilsson, Norwegian striker, Walter Figueroa. And they have lost Parkhouse and Junior, 2 big ones. Also Sloggett to Dundalk will be a huge loss. I think maybe 3rd. I think they'll be very close to 3rd. Without European football, I probably would give them 3rd. That will distract them. I can't see them getting too far. But they'll go. They'll push on. They had a very good season last year. Declan Devine's first season in charge. It was a brilliant season, and I think they'll come very close. In the last few years, they have lost some good players, like Aaron McInnes. But yeah, I do think they will keep some. They will keep players like Nilsson the next 2 years, and I think they'll do quite well even in Europe in the next 2 years. So at 4th place, Derry City. Now at 3rd place, Bohemians, and I think this is probably the first time in the last few years they haven't lost their big player, Mandrew. Talbot, very good in goal. Brought in some good players. They have brought in players like Glenn McCauley. I can't see him starting when you got players like Andre Wright. I think he might get ahead of him, but he won't get ahead of Denny Corcoran, one of the best strikers in the league. They did well last year. They have lost Dara Leahy, who will be big. They've kept a hold of Danny Grant, who is very good. They've got Chris Twarduk, who I think will be very good on the wings. Keith Ward, who I don't know if he's going to start when you have Mandrew, Grant and Twarduk. Don't know if he is going to start. Leahy is a loss. Beric Pender retired. So they got in. They've got in some good players. They haven't lost anyone huge, apart from Leahy. I think Talbot was very good last season, probably the best, maybe joint with Manis, best goalkeeper in the league. So yeah, at third place, Bohemian. Now I'm going to get a lot of probably backlash from non-Rovers fans, but at second place I'm going with Dundalk, and I think I'm going to praise them a lot right now, and it's going to be like, why aren't you putting them first? But you'll see in a minute when I talk about Rovers. I'm trying not to be biased, by the way. They have got great depth. Greg Sloggett and Patching coming in the midfield. Probably one of them is going to replace Benson. They still have Murray and Shields who will probably play there. I don't think they're any going to start. Leahy and Massey, that's just incredible, having them two in the same team. Did lose Dean Jarvis, but I think with Leahy coming in, you don't need Jarvis. They've got some great centre-backs, Sean Hoare, Boyle, Gartland, they're only a few. Hubin and Kelly up front, they're both just brilliant, aren't they? Kelly out wide. Jamie McGrath, let's talk about him. He's going to be a big loss to St. Mirren. Dan Kelly, as I said, very good up and down the wing. On the left, Michael Duffy, he speaks for himself. He's a brilliant player, probably the best. Up there is the best player in the league. McElhenney, who I think is underrated. He's a very good player. Gary Rogers, I'd say he's getting older now. I think he's not one of the best keepers in the league anymore. I think a few keepers are better than him. Manis and Talbot are both better than him. And I think Ross Tracy, not a huge loss, because he's sitting in the stands every game, gone to Drogheda. So yeah, I'm going with Dundalk at second place, and I think it will be a very close title race. Now, at first place, I'm going with Shamrock Rovers, and I do think we will do it this year. We were very close last year and we slipped up. We've got a great bunch of players. I think we'll do well in Europe. Aaron Green, he's quite good. We're still looking for a new striker, which I don't know. I don't really know. We've got Dean Williams and Thomas Aluia. They're both good backups. Alan Manis, in the next few years, we will have to replace him. But for now, he's a brilliant goalkeeper. Sean Kavanagh, the best left back in the league, still in my opinion. Joey O'Brien, he might not play next year with Marshall coming in, but I think off the pitch he's very good. Liam Scales coming in, that will be absolutely brilliant for our depth. We got Lee Grace and Roberto Lopez, two of the best centre-backs in the league. I'd say Roberto Lopez third or fourth. In midfield we're kind of stacked. When you have Dylan Watts, Gary O'Neill, Greg Bolger, McInnes, Marshall can play there. Finn can play a bit further behind. Then you got Jack Burnham behind the best player in the league. And by a lot, I think, Hedham Andrew. And I think Graham Burke, hopefully we can keep him. Hopefully we can get him permanent. He's on loan. And then Ferrugia and Brandon Kavanagh, both extremely good youngsters. I might do a video just talking about them both and if they are going to play. Brandon Kavanagh got our Young Player of the Year, and I think if Ferrugia was there for longer, he might have got it. Both extremely good youngsters. We've got some good young players also. As I said, we've got a good young team. Now with the B team, that's going to help a lot. With players like Keegan Clark, Alex Dunn going to play for them. We don't have much depth up front. We do have two other strikers. Losing Cummins and Carr is kind of bad, and I rated Carr a lot. He just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. He was good as a left winger, and the same with Green. I think Lafferty, he's alright. I don't think he's going to start because we've got Sean Kavanagh, and as I said, I think he's the best left back in the league. And I wouldn't say Watts or Bolger will start because I think Gary O'Neill's a great signing. He's caused 2 pitch invasions in the last year, the brand game, and it wasn't a huge pitch invasion, but the final. And yeah, I wouldn't say Balder will start, but I'd say he'll get in a lot on the bench. And yeah, and McInnes, like, he's gonna get in. He's our best player, up with, not our best, one of the best players, with Jack Byrne and Crowley Grainberg, I'd say. So yeah, guys, let me know what your table is in the comments. Do you agree with me? I wouldn't say a lot of non-Rovers fans will agree with Rovers winning the league. I might do a video talking about the cups and what I think about them. I'm just going to say who I think I'm going to win the final, and I think Dundalk will win the FAI Cup. They haven't been able to win it for the last few years. And I think it's going to be very close for the EA Sports Cup, but I have a feeling someone like a Derry will do it. I'm going to predict either Derry or us. So yeah, if you want me to do a video like predicting them, the cups, let me know. Yeah, what's your league table? Tell me in the comments. Do you agree with me? I'd say a lot of people won't. And yeah, guys, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.